I'm Kaylee, and today I'm giving you a review of the entire Kitty Hawk series. In case you didn't know, Books for MKs is a charity that donates books to missionary kids. If you want to donate to the kids, you can do so safely at GoFundMe.com. There's a link down in the description, and there's a button at the end of this video where you can go and donate to the kids. Especially coming up to Christmas pretty soon, we really need donations so these kids can get some Christmas presents, books as Christmas presents. So please go and donate. Even a $5 or $10 donation is very much appreciated. So the wonderful author Ian Reading, I am so sorry Ian, I do not know how to say your last name. I apologize. But I received his entire Kitty Hawk series for free in exchange for a free and honest review. And oh my goodness, my life has been changed, people. When I was a kid, I always loved reading Nancy Drew. I don't think I ever quite was able to read the entire Nancy Drew series, but I just devoured everything Nancy Drew. And then Kitty Hawk came into my life. And it's like, move over Nancy Drew, because there's a new detective girl in town. I just fell more and more in love with Kitty Hawk as I read through the 5 books that are currently out in the series. In the first book, Kitty is a 19-year-old pilot, and she's on a summer mission to observe humpback whales in Juneau, Alaska. But she stumbles across the path of some gold thieves, and she is forced on a trek across the Alaskan wild as their captive. And in the rest of the books, Kitty travels through the world, having adventures and solving mysteries. In Kitty Hawk and the Hunt for Hemingway's Ghost, Kitty is down in the Florida Keys. She encounters a mystery in the treacherous waters of the Gulf, and her adventures lead her to sunken shipwrecks, peculiar ghostly echoes of Hemingway's typewriter, and strange and mysterious lights on the ocean floor. In Kitty Hawk and the Icelandic Intrigue, Kitty is visiting Iceland. Kitty gets to experience all the beauties of Iceland, touring around Reykjavik, swimming in hot springs, and flying over the enormous ice fields. But she becomes entangled with rising hostilities between environmentalists and a company that is looking for clean energy solutions. And in order to stop the hostilities, she has to unravel the mysteries of the Viking legends and the mystical hidden people, Icelandic elves. In Kitty Hawk and the Tragedy of the RMS Titanic, Kitty is traveling through Ireland when she is asked to unravel a riddle and help with a family treasure hunt that has baffled the experts for generations. Kitty and her new friend Andrew team up to unravel the clues left by Bruce Ismay, a famous survivor of the Titanic disaster. I especially loved this one because there are puzzles and codes and secret messages. And of course, a lot of really good history. My analytic brain was so happy with this one. In Kitty Hawk and the Mystery of the Masterpieces, Kitty meets up with her old friend Charlie in Rome. The two befriend a group of siblings whose father has a dark past. And it's up to Kitty to follow the clues through more secret codes and hidden rooms and international spies and intrigue, to solve the disturbing history of several long-lost paintings by famous artists. The whole series ended up being so much more amazing than I ever even expected. I mean, move over Nancy Drew, because I have a new favorite teen detective. Every book just has an adventurous plot full of twists and turns, really compelling and complex characters, because you know I need me some good character development. And I was really pleased with the clever dialogue. In each of these books, the plot surprised me several times. I was gasping and jumping up and down in my seat. I was giggling and crying and shaking my fist to the skies. In every single book, I was just completely swept away with the story. Especially in the first book, it was the natural and clever dialogue that really made me fall in love with each character. It can be difficult to write natural dialogue that feels like real people are talking. But so many times I was drawn in by the brilliant and yet familiar conversations that showed what the characters were really going through. It showed their closeness, their irritation, their fears. It showed their fatigue, their anxiety, their affection for one another. Just a myriad of aspects of their relationships, and the essence of each character was shown so clearly and beautifully through their dialogue. And that is just good writing. In every book, but especially in Kitty and the Icelandic Intrigue, I really gained a wonderful appreciation for the beauties of nature and all the different cultures. I mean, every book has this wonderful background of history and this incredible, cultural little snapshot of wherever in the world Kitty Hawk is. Kitty travels through hundreds of miles of beautiful terrain, across dazzling seas and primitive forests, and she sees volcanoes. She goes through lakes and rivers. I mean, there's so many beautiful things that she sees in incredible European cities. I mean, there's just history galore. Every new place that Kitty visited made me want to know more about that setting. And I just wanted to go further and go deeper into that experience with her. And a massive part of that is the actual real history that is woven seamlessly into the story, so that you're learning about the past and you're learning about the history of this culture, of this place that she's visiting, but it doesn't feel like it bogs down the story. I only have 2 complaints about these books. One is that the print is kind of small. It just seemed abnormally small to me. And there were times when I found myself kind of squinting, trying to read it. And in every book, there are far too many chapters. I mean, the chapter breaks just break up the story way too much. Some chapters are only 2 pages long. A 2-page chapter, or 2 or 3 pages long on average. It just breaks up the pacing of the story too much. I mean, having 82 chapters in a book is a little excessive, I've just gotta say. However, because I love the writing style and I love the characters and I was amazed by the plot, I sort of got used to that chapter style after a while, and I was completely immersed in the story. So if you loved Nancy Drew, I know you will love Kitty Hawk. There's a link down below where you can order Ian Reading's books. I don't know how to say the name, I'm really sorry. And especially if you love puzzles and codes and clues and history and just gorgeous, gorgeous settings, the writing makes you feel like you are in the mountains or you are in Rome. It just plunges you right into the middle of this incredible setting with this beautiful history, and it's just so good. Please leave a comment down below and tell me, did you read Nancy Drew as a kid? And have you found anything comparable as an adult where it just has that good old Nancy Drew kind of feeling to it? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.